Alright, this is John Coleman with OKRaw.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you, and good morning! Alright, I don't know when you guys are watching this, but it's morning time for me, and in this episode what I'd like to do today is share with you guys what I eat in a day when I'm with my girlfriend. So I'm here at her place, staying with her here, and I know many of you guys may have girlfriends, boyfriends, significant others, you know, and either, you know, live separately and sometimes visit with them, stay with them, and maybe even, you know, are married, live in the same household with your significant other that might not eat the same exact way as you do and share every single meal with you. And my girlfriend and I, we don't eat exactly the same, we eat a little bit different, but we have many commonalities. So in this episode, I want to share with you guys what I eat in a day when I'm staying with my girlfriend, because it may be a little bit different than when I'm traveling or when I'm on my own. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started in this journey. So whether I'm staying with my girlfriend or not, every morning when I wake up, first thing I always like to do, and I would encourage you guys also to do, is to get hydrated. I mean, we've been sleeping at night, we've been breathing, and we need to drink some water, in my opinion. So I like to drink about 16 to 32 ounces of nice filtered water in the morning. Now, she doesn't have a filtration system in her home, so she goes out and fills up these 2-gallon jugs at like a local health food store. That's reverse osmosis water. So I always want to encourage you guys to drink a filtered water. You know, the best is if you filter yourself at home using something like a reverse osmosis system. Or next, you know, buy your water, and it's much cheaper to refill your own containers, you know, than to keep buying water in bottles. So she's got these BPA-free containers, which I'm not a super huge fan of. You know, I'd personally use like 1-gallon glass bottles myself. She does have a few of those. I mean, this is like a half-gallon bottle, and it'd be much better to fill up a couple 1-gallon jugs with in glass instead of even BPA-free plastic, because even BPA-free plastic may have other plasticizers or other things that are probably not optimally healthy for us. That being said, when I'm at my girlfriend's house, you know, that's what she's decided to use, so that's what I'm drinking today. So yeah, we're going to get hydrated and then get working for a little bit, and we'll come back at you when I'm ready for my first meal. Alright, so you guys caught me working here. So my next meal of the day actually is intertwined with actually what I'm doing that day. So many days I'll be working actually on the computer, out in the garden, making videos for YouTube on other topics, and actually today that's what I'm doing. I'm here actually making a video with the Kuvings wholesale juicer and the Vitamix, making orange creamsicle juice that you can freeze into orange creamsicles, or you can just drink like I'm drinking now. So this is officially my first meal of the day because I had water first, and this is kind of like starting my day off with a fresh juice. So, you know, if I was home, I might do this, and of course, I'm going to save some for my girlfriend so that she could drink later. In general, this contained the water of 1 coconut, the meat of about, I don't know, about a half a coconut, because a lot of it was kind of bad, and the juice of 9 oranges, 7 of which were the navel oranges, and then I had actually 2 caracaras. This is the last, or 9th caracara that I'm actually putting into the juicer to make my delicious orange creamsicle juice here. Let me go ahead and throw this guy in there for you, and then I'll sample out my juice here. So yeah, you know, when I'm eating food, I really like to get like as much of the white pith as I can that's on the orange here. The white pith contains the bioflavonoids, and if you're peeling the orange, you're not going to get a lot of that because a lot of it doesn't stick around. And that's why I like juicing the orange. Oh, look at that nice color there. This is a caracara if you've never had it before. And actually just the other day I had actually for the first time a mango orange, which was kind of like a caracara / blood orange / tangerine. It was amazing. Let's go ahead and throw that in there. Get the last bit of this orange creamsicle juice to come out of the machine. Alright, coming right out. We're going to go ahead and strain this guy down. Alright, got all that pulp strained out there. And for those of you guys that are wondering, John, you're not eating the fiber, man, it's the best part. Well, don't worry. There'll be plenty other times of the day where I'll be eating plenty of fiber and getting it. For now, we're going to go ahead and enjoy some of this rich, delicious orange creamsicle juice. I'll probably drink about 32 ounces of this wonderful delicious juice. So if you want to see the video on how to make your very own orange creamsicle juice, be sure to check my other YouTube channel at youtube.com/rawfoods. Once the video is posted, I'll put a link down below in the description so you can click on it and see how to make your very own orange creamsicle juice like I'm having for breakfast today. So now it's time for my next meal. I'm actually quite hungry. I've been working all morning, making videos, working online, all this kind of stuff, and it's time for my next meal. So always when you guys are eating, I always want to encourage you guys to kind of check in to see what you have available, you know, and I encourage you guys to always have massive amounts of fruits and vegetables available for you to eat at any time. So what I'm going to do next is actually open up the fridge to see what we got to eat. And check it out, man. We got a whole fridge full of fresh fruits and fresh vegetables. This bottom drawer here is full of like celery, dinosaur kale, lettuce. Got some green beans, like I think it's all organic. And I could be making a vegetable juice right now. Or I could eat something like, Manolo Tangelos. We got some oranges in the back there. Oh, of course, check it out. Got some jackfruit here. We got all kinds of red peppers, more lettuce, spinach, young coconuts. Got organic strawberries, pineapple, avocados. We got some fermented foods, some organic cucumbers, some, all kinds of good stuff to eat. I think, what I'm going to eat right now is actually based on what I need to use because it will be and is going bad. And what that is my jackfruit, baby. This is delicious orange jackfruit that we purchased a couple days ago, and this was originally, believe it or not, a 36-pound fruit that cost me $72. It was $2 a pound, and this is all that we got left, about 1/4 of it left. We've had several meals off it already, and they have been super delicious. So this is what I'm going to eat next. Let's go ahead and take it outside, we'll cut it open, and we'll enjoy some jackfruit with you. Alright, so I got that jackfruit all cut open, and check it out, took out the core, and look at this. Woo-hoo-hoo! Delicious jackfruit, baby, all ready for my lunch. Enjoying the beautiful weather outside today, and I always want to encourage you guys to, go outside and eat, man, just on the patio, get some sun, whether you got a sunroom, or minimally sit next to a sunny window if it's still super freezing outside. So what I'm going to do next is embark on the journey of eating my jackfruit. I don't know how many of you guys have ever had jackfruit, but basically what happens is in the jackfruit there's all these little individual pods, and these individual pods, if I can get one out here, look like this. And if we open up one of these pods, we will see on the inside, we reveal a little seed. So we take the seed out. The seed actually is cooked and eaten in some cultures. I have heard you can actually dehydrate this and then powder it up in the Vitamix and eat it if you are raw. But they usually basically boil them and salt them and eat them. But what I like to do is I like to eat the fresh jackfruit. Yeah, delicious, oh my gosh. If you've ever had juicy fruit gum, right? This tastes better than juicy fruit gum because juicy fruit gum ripped off the flavor of the jackfruit. So imagine just eating a meal of bubble gum that's healthy for you. Simply amazing. You guys should try jackfruit if you haven't already. It's kind of hard to get it fresh. And my top tip for picking out one fresh is buy a pre-cut piece that you could see and smell. You want a nice vibrant color, and when you pick it up and smell it, man, it should just smell like the best bubble gum that you've ever eaten. That way you're sure to get a good one. If you're not able to get them fresh, many Asian stores will also sell frozen jackfruit. So once again, pick up the package and make sure it's nice and dark. It could be orange as this, but most of them are usually yellow. So you want a nice dark yellow color versus a light yellow color. Most jackfruits are picked too early, and they are often unripe, and then they are not sweet and not delicious at all. Oh, finally, if your jackfruit is not ripe, it's going to be more latexy and sappy, so you're going to want to coat with some coconut oil. Otherwise, you're going to have all this goo stuff that's very hard to get off. This one's actually peak ripeness, very little latex, and it's going to be uber delicious. Enjoying the sun outside. Guess we'll come back at you when I'm almost done eating my jackfruit. Alright, so I'm just about full. as you guys can see, almost wiped out that whole jackfruit. I think I left about a quart of it left for my girlfriend. She's off at work right now, so I'm eating all the good food. Anyways, what I wanted to come back and share with you guys is that I want to encourage you guys to eat the proper amount. You're probably thinking, John, what is that? Should I eat 10 oranges or 5 oranges per sitting? I will never tell you how much or how many foods or how many quantities of bananas or how much jackfruit you should ever eat, right? Because it's not one, I'm not one to tell you guys what to do in your life. You know, there's some people that might do that on YouTube, tell you to eat 30 bananas a day or whatever. I don't believe you guys should listen to them. I believe you should listen to yourself before you listen to anybody else on how much food you personally need to consume, right? You should eat intently in the moment, focused on the food, and eat. And when you start eating the jackfruit and all of a sudden like, wow, you know, the 100th jackfruit pod that I ate didn't taste as good as the first one, you'll notice a taste change in your mouth. And when the food just doesn't excite you anymore, maybe it's time to stop eating, man. You know, that's one good way. Another way is like, maybe if you're full, right? If you feel that you're full and you had enough, stop. Even if you got the best jackfruit in the world, stop eating it, right? Do not continue to eat the food if you're like, man, I think I'm stuffed. Oh, but there's like 5 more pieces. Well, save it for your girlfriend, you know, save it for your next meal, right? Save it for the potluck you're going to, but do not eat it, right? Super important, super critical. I don't care if you eat raw foods, fruits and vegetables, or anything else in the world. We need to start listening to our bodies before we listen to a calorie calculator or, you know, somebody else telling us how much a portion size should be. We're all different, you know, we have different activity levels. Like if I go out and just ran like a mile, 10 miles, 5 miles, biked, you know, a whole bunch, I'd come back and I'd have a bigger appetite. So, you know, our bodies will adjust naturally to our needs and our caloric and our nutrient needs. And our bodies will tell us if we are listening and we learn how to listen and hear our bodies talk to us about this subject. And the only way that's really going to happen is not by anybody telling you anything, but by you listening and being in touch with your body, being in touch with your food as you're eating it, instead of, you know, having your mind wander or watching TV or something else, all right? So yeah, hope this really imparts that on you. And as for this jackfruit, I'm going to cut it up and serve for my girlfriend. I'll get to eat it later. All right, so I'm back. Another update on what I eat in a day. And I just got done making an all-new video for my Discount Juicer channel. And that's at youtube.com/raw foods. If you're looking for a low-cost dehydrator, you definitely found it. This is definitely one of the lowest priced rear airflow dehydrators that I can recommend with a 5-year warranty. But because I was making a video on this brand new dehydrator, I also started eating some dehydrated food, including like 1 piece of dehydrated jackfruit, had a dehydrated banana, also had almost all the dehydrated apple, which, I mean, all the dehydrated foods in here made with our organic foods, completely amazing. Also had 3/4 of an organic orange, and also, of course, I made some delicious kale chips in the dehydrator. Basically, this is using some dinosaur kale, the top half of the leaf, with blended up red bell pepper, young coconut meat, some sunflower seeds, and some taco seasoning, and actually some kimchi and some cayenne powder. And these things, completely amazing. So I think the next thing I'm going to do, I'm probably going to snack on a bunch more of these until I'm full, because they are so good. Alright, so I'm just enjoying a few more kale chips here. And I want to talk to you guys for a second about dehydrated foods on a raw foods diet. You know, most of my videos where I make what I eat in a day, I rarely eat dehydrated foods, you know, just as a meal or as a snack. I will use some dehydrated food in my evening salad or soup to act as a thickener instead of nuts, such as sun-dried tomatoes or sun-dried or dehydrated peppers. If I'm traveling, then instead of bringing fresh fruit, I will take some dehydrated fruit because it is much easier to travel with. It's more concentrated, so I don't have to basically pack around a lot of water weight, and I'll just drink some extra water with me. But in general, I recommend, having some dehydrated foods on hand, maybe like stored in your car so that if you're out and you don't have any fresh food, fresh fruits available, you could have some dehydrated stuff, which of course is much better than fast food or other grab and go things, aside from fresh fruit and vegetables, that you might be grabbing anyway. And so yeah, make fresh food the majority of our raw foods diet, not these dehydrated foods, as yummy and delicious as they are. So now it's dinner time, and I'm glad that Lauren is home from her busy day at work. Now, up until this point, actually, I've been pretty much on my own at her house to eat whatever I'd like. And I know many of you guys out there may have significant others, boyfriends, girlfriends, or whatever. And many times of the day, you have your own choices. You can eat whatever you want, whether that is a raw vegan meal, whether that's fresh juices, fresh smoothies, fresh fruit, whatever. I encourage you guys, when you have your own time, when family's not looking over you, to eat fresh fruits and eat the healthy stuff, And then when you get together with your significant other, if they don't eat the same way as you, well then try to eat as many fresh fruits and vegetables as you can, have smaller portions of what everybody else is eating if you feel the need to fit in. Of course, I would, fuck the horse and I would just eat what I need to eat because that's me, but that might not work, of course, for some people. I'm lucky to have a beautiful sweetheart here who eats very similar to me, but we eat a little bit different. But she eats very healthy. So I was lucky enough to have Lauren make the base of my meal, which is in the bowl here, and she has a similar fixins in her bowl. So Lauren, what is in the bowl?
Zucchini noodles, spinach, green onions, cucumber, and basil and seaweed.
Awesome. So what's in your bowl?
We have the same fixins. And
can you tell we're in Texas?
Yeah.
So you guys just learned that we're sharing the same main course. We're sharing all the same fixins inside our soup, but the soup itself is just a little bit different. So honey, what's in your soup?
In my soup base, I have juiced bell peppers with Thai pepper, and I blended that with miso, sauerkraut, and taco seasoning.
Awesome. So, I have a pretty much similar soup base that actually I'll pour on for you guys right now. Check it out. All right, that's going to be so good. So my soup base is pretty similar to hers. Actually, it has the same base of, a juiced bell peppers, some hot pepper, and then I added actually 2 avocados. I added in some taco seasoning. I added some kimchi instead of the sauerkraut. I don't add the miso in tonight. And I also add some seaweed powders for a little bit of flavor and extra mineral kick. And I think that's pretty much it. That's the difference in mine. So, I tend to eat a little bit more higher in fat than Lauren does, just due to the way that I do things. And it's fun that we eat different. It's cool. We eat the same base, and many of you guys could do this. Maybe your wife eats still chicken and you don't eat chicken, so then you guys both have pretty big salads, and she adds chicken to hers and you don't add chicken to yours, No big deal, right? You want to try to, have a good staple of raw foods at every meal, and then add in maybe some of the things that aren't so healthy, that's all right. I choose to eat all healthy as I can. All right, so I think we're going to enjoy my dinner with my sweet girlfriend now that she's home from a hard day's of work. Maybe I'll be back later because I might be eating some later today after my dinner. So just got done with dinner a little while ago and just kicking back after dinner because much like, my thoughts on breakfast, right? You don't want to immediately get out of bed in the morning and immediately break your fast of sleeping and eat breakfast, right? That's why I like to drink water in the morning and then work a little while, and then finally when I get hungry, I'll finally eat. Same thing at night. You want to eat your dinner, have a nice period of time after dinner where you're letting your food digest and move through. And then after that, then you're going to want to go to bed, right? So that you can start, instigating your fast, in a nice and peaceful route where your stomach's not full and you're having to digest your food when you're sleeping. That's definitely not optimal. Now the other thing I like to do right before bed after I let my food digest is, of course, get hydrated, much like I like to do in the morning time. This to me is also very important. When we're sleeping, we're respirating, when we're breathing, we're losing liquids, and you can come dehydrated in some climate locations faster than others. So for example, in arid locations, that's where it's really dry, you're going to become dehydrated significantly faster than in a place that's more humid. You can also become significantly dehydrated in the wintertime when you have the heater, at a hot temperature, because that dries out the air very fast, and that'll also dry you out and you'll become dehydrated, which is not optimal. So I do encourage you to drink some water if you don't need to wake up in the middle of the night to go pee. So I may drink, depending on where I am in the world, 16 to 32 ounces before I go to bed, which is good for me. And I'm pretty good with just sleeping through the night and then waking up and then going to the bathroom in the morning so it doesn't disturb my sleep. Now if you do wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom because you can't hold your liquids, then it might not be a good idea to drink liquids before you go to bed. So finally, what I'd like to say in this episode is that what you guys saw today is an example of what I'm eating in this day. I'm not advocating you guys eat this exact same diet. Every one of the days that I make a video, what I eat a day, it's completely, totally different. I never eat the same thing twice. Even for dinner, if I might have a soup 2 days in a row, it's always a little bit different because I put a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and whatever we got in the fridge, So I want you guys to rotate and always change up what you're eating on a daily basis. Don't just eat 30 bananas today, 30 bananas a day tomorrow. That would get quite boring, and also you'd have a limited scope of nutrients that you'd be getting in you because you'd be missing out on a lot of different fresh fruits and vegetables that you could be getting. Next thing I like to say is that in general I like to have 2 different kinds of meals in a day. Either for lunch or for breakfast I'll have one of a few things, either a juice, a smoothie, or fresh fruit. So for example, the juice could be a green juice, a fruit juice, the smoothie could be a green smoothie or a fruit smoothie, or I could simply have fresh fruit. And I'll do one of these 5 things for both breakfast and then for lunch. So for example, today I had the orange Creamsicle for breakfast, and then I had the Jackfruit for lunch. I could do a green juice and then an orange Creamsicle, or a green juice and the Jackfruit. Every day is a little bit different depending on what I have that's ripe in the fridge, what I have in the garden, when I have my garden available, what I need to juice, what I need to use. And of course, I check in with my body to listen to my body, and it'll tell me, hey John, today you need a green juice, man. You haven't had some greens in a while, you need some celery, so hey, do a green juice. So then that's what I do, right? So it depends on all these factors, and this is something that you could only learn as you get into raw foods, as you eat more fresh fruits and vegetables and listen to your body. It'll talk to you, and I want you guys to listen, and not only the quantities that we're eating, but also what you're truly really feeling like at that point in time, because that truly is going to be the best for you. Now of course, for my evening dinner I usually have either a salad or a fresh soup, and I've been favoring the soup these days. If you want a really good delicious soup recipe and are wondering how Lauren and I make the soups that we do, be sure to check my YouTube channel, Growing Your Greens, where we have an amazing video on how we make a pizza soup that's actually quite delicious, harvesting some of the very greens that she's growing here. I think that's pretty much the end of this episode. If you like this episode, please give me a thumbs up. I'm not a really big fan of doing these what I eat in a days, because it's kind of a lot of work to film all these different clips throughout the day and then link them all together, other than I usually just turn the camera on, talk, and then turn it off, and then I'm done. But if you like them, give me a thumbs up. That'll let me know I should do more of these in the future so that you guys could see what I eat and, hear my 2 cents along the way. Other than that, be sure to subscribe to my videos if you're not already. If you want to see what I eat a day other days, be sure to check the links down below. In the description, I'll put some links to other what I eat in a day videos for those of you guys that are interested. And of course, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And once again, my name is John Kohler with OKRaw.com, and we'll see you next time. And don't forget, keep eating your fresh fruits and vegetables. They're always the best. All right, this is John Kohler with OKRaw.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you. And this episode is going to be a short one of that. The question is, I got a nice horse here. Where does the horse get its protein? I mean, this thing towers over me. It's super huge. If we look in its mouth, and I'm not going to open up.